starting 2024, starting with this video right here. Right now, and 2 days in, and everyone's creating their new resolution, creating their, oh, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that plan. Well, I'm gonna go over the 10 things I'm gonna do in 2024, and it's more or less a bucket list of the things that I am going to accomplish, or at least try to accomplish. So number one on the list is self-care. Focusing on self-care includes eating a well-balanced diet, drinking a gallon of water a day, being active, whether that's being in the gym, walking around the block, running, or doing activities that you love. Now, everyone sets this as their goals or their expectations for 2024 or the next year and the following year of getting back into shape or trying to be healthy, but 90 to 95% of those who put that in place fail. And the reason why they fail is because, one, they set their expectations way too high right off the bat. They're like, well, I'm going to lose 25 pounds by next year or by the summertime. And it's all good setting those type of expectations, those standards, but at the same time realize and look back at the previous years. Didn't you say that last year? Didn't you say that the previous year? Start small and then build your way up in those expectations, in those setting those goals. Now, eating healthy, that includes making sure you have enough protein, eat the right carbs, don't eat the bad junk food. I know all of us are kind of getting over all the Christmas cookies and desserts and all the ham or whatever you eat during the holidays. But it's time to start now in the new year to better yourself with the health, making sure you have a gallon of water in your system, making sure that you're eating a well-balanced diet, eating a breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and having snack in between, making sure you're hitting the gym or walking around the block, being active. So number one, my goal is staying active, eating a well-balanced diet, making sure I'm eating 3 times a day, because I haven't done that sometimes last year, where I'll skip breakfast or I'll skip lunch or dinner, and next thing you know, I'm like, well, it's too late for me to eat, and I skip it. Don't do that. That's bad for your system. That's bad for your mental capacity. And start putting your self-care first. And again, don't worry about what others are doing. Put yourself first. That is number one on my list. Focus on my health. Focus on myself. Number two is being able to control what goes on up here. Now, I understand sometimes you think about things that you don't want to, but they just come to you. Well, in 2024, this year, I am going to try my best to only look at the positive things, ignore the negativity, ignore the feedback that I don't want to hear. And again, it's all about focusing on yourself. And a lot of that is up here. A lot of that is stuff you can control and block out. But a lot of us just lets everything in, and we are sponges. We just absorb all the feedback, all the emotion, anger, hatred, love for people, or whatever type of emotion that you feel, you absorb it like a sponge. And sometimes we can't control how we feel. But in 2024, that is something that I'm going to work towards. Learn how to absorb the things I want to absorb and block out the things I want to block. So number one and number two go hand in hand, focusing on my mental health and physical self. Number three is one that I continuously keep saying over and over and over that I'm gonna do every single year, but I never do. And that is travel. And that is whether it's traveling to another city where I live or just kind of going about. But my main goal is to go to other states, go out of the country, explore different areas that I have never been before. And I think the reason why I haven't done this in the past is due to my comfort zone. I am in my little bubble and I go to work, come back home, hang out with friends and family, come back home, go to work, and it's all in this only little tiny circle. And every once in a while, I'll break out and do something that, is out of my comfort zone. But 2024 is me breaking out of my comfort zone, traveling to a whole bunch of different places I've never been to before, like different cities in different states, try different food, see different things like museums, go hiking in national parks that I've never been to. All that ties into pretty much exploring. And that is one thing, as me being like a history teacher, I'm very fascinated about exploration and the history and everything like that. And what better not to learn that stuff by experiencing you being in that area in that moment, tasting the different foods that they have, seeing the different architecture, all that stuff, the national parks, the landforms. I don't know, just me geeking out a little bit here. But being able to explore is one of the biggest things I've always wanted to do. In 2024 is going to be the year where I travel more. That was number 3. Now number 4 is going to be friends and family. Now, friends and family, I still do this, all the time. Friends and family, I always put them first instead of myself, even though this year I'm saying I'm putting myself first. But friends and family should be either top priority or like second. So 2024 is going to be me being able to do more things with my family, do those trips I just mentioned with my friends, with my family members, my sister, my mom, my brother-in-law, all that stuff. I want to be able to do the things I want to enjoy, but also bring along the people I love. Number 5 kind of ties in with number 1, being active. And the one thing I used to love doing and playing is tennis. And I haven't played tennis in, 3 years now. 3 years. Going on 3 years now. And I just miss playing that game. And playing basketball, playing soccer, those are sports I grew up playing as a kid. But the main reason why I miss playing tennis is because it is a mind game. And again, it goes back to number 2, focusing on that control of your mindset, not letting the negativity come in and blocking out the white noise that is distracting you. And with tennis, you play 2v2, like you and one partner against 2, so there's partner work. But most of the time, it's just you and against another opponent. It's a singles match, just you on that court. And a lot of that ties down to being able to focus, being able to put your mind in the right spot. Not to mention, tennis is also a pretty physical sport. You might be laughing, and I'll see it in the comments saying tennis is a girl's sport or tennis is a weak sport, yada, 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 all that stuff. But I like playing tennis, good mental game. It's fun to play, fun to be competitive against one other person or do 2v2 and see how that goes. And again, also being active, I want to go hiking more because that's the thing I absolutely love is hiking and being outdoors. Number 6 is kind of an unusual one for me because I am not a huge reader whatsoever. I always got good grades in school and everything like that, but I absolutely despised reading. I would skim through it or, oh, yep, okay, I'm done type situation. But my goal in 2024 is to read 5 or more books. 5 or more books. And that's not, asking a lot. In a whole year to read 5 books. And the main reason is because I've been looking and seeing a whole bunch of people kind of doing that technology detox where they're, staying away from their phones more often or not on the computer or on YouTube or TikTok. And they're just kind of reading or, again, being active and doing a bunch of different things. And the main reason why I want to read 5 books, and these books are not going to be like, little kids books that are like this thin. They're going to be pretty much like motivational books or financial books. That is something that I'm really into is personal finance. And so that way, one, I'm learning something new, like a new skill set or strategy on something. And 2, reading helps your vocabulary. It helps your retention, attention span, or whatever it's called. And plus, I mean, it's enjoyable. You sit down, relax, read a book on the beach, read a book, you know, during nice weather by the pool, or when you're bored in cold weather, when there's a snow day or something like that. So that is something that is kind of new that I'm going to do in 2024. And with these books, I don't know what type of books I'm going to read. Currently, I know one of them, which is going to be Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Number 7 on the bucket list for me to do 2024 is do what I'm doing right now. Push out more content on TikTok, YouTube, post more pictures or whatever I'm doing on Instagram, which I don't really use as much as I normally do. But my main emphasis is YouTube. Push out videos like this, whether they're vlogs, talking about personal finance, me ranting about something, just kind of pushing out content because 1, I like doing it. It's a nice little hobby I got myself into over the past couple of years. And TikTok, go follow me. But over there, I have 13.2K followers now. And that's all because of me talking about personal finance. And I kind of really went really forward. Now, I don't know if I hit a burnout with me doing content creation, but I stopped for 3 months or something like that. And I honestly don't know why I stopped. I don't know why I stopped. And especially after making the one video of a rant I did about teaching like 4 months ago, 6 months ago, that got quite a few views that I did not expect. Me just ranting about my job and how the teaching industry is falling apart, and it had a whole bunch of views. And I'm like, okay, cool. But I didn't create anything afterwards. And that was my biggest emphasis is, well, that video did really well. Why don't I create another video right after? But I hesitated, procrastinated, you name it, that's what I did. Not to mention I did have a lot of issues or family stuff going on at the time as well, so that was also part of it. But at the same time, starting 2024, starting with this video right here, I am going to continue pushing out content. Like I said, it's going to be on TikTok, it's going to be here on YouTube, Instagram. What I'll probably do is post whether it's pictures, updates, stuff like that, and in the links down below, I'll also add them. And number 8 is pretty much kind of what I just slowly touched on a little bit, but that's pretty much coming up with a successful business or a successful job. Now, if you don't know who I am, again, I'm pretty much a middle school teacher. And again, up there you could tell that teaching is pretty much not for me anymore. I love working with kids. I love doing what I do, but at the same time, it's just falling apart from the inside out. And 2024, within this list, I really want to try to come up with some sort of business that I'm more or less happy with than being successful. Obviously, I want it to be successful, or whether it's a career or a job that I find myself into. Because after this year, once teaching is done, I'm pretty much going with the flow, and that is why during the summertime, I'm going to go and do what number 3 was, go and travel and explore different places, trying to get where my mind is, where I want to do. Now, I have tried a couple businesses or things, like for example, I sell plants as a side hustle. I created a plant website. That is how much I made over the past couple of months doing the plant site. So I really want to try to come up with a successful business, whether it's me doing YouTube or TikTok or just a job in general that I find myself happy doing, where I make enough to support myself. But pretty much with number 8 is just kind of finding a foot in some sort of door. That door, I don't know what that door is or where it's going to lead me, but just kind of start kicking down doors and just trying to figure out where I want to go after teaching. Number 9 is being able to have a new recipe every single week or month, and that new recipe can be something that you have found, or it could be a recipe that you just came up with and created. And that recipe could be a dinner, a breakfast, a lunch, a dessert. And I think doing this, cooking a new meal or some type of recipe, whether it's Betty Crockett or Martha Stewart's recipes or whoever you're following, or stuff on TikTok that you're like, oh, that looks good, let me try doing that. Start making new recipes, because one, is fun to do. Who doesn't love cooking? Who doesn't love eating food? I know I love eating food, but obviously I gotta lose the dad bod. But cook a new recipe once a week, once a month, and you'll be thanking me later, because you'll be probably starting to cook that almost every single day. All right, and there you have it. Those are the 10 bucket list ideas that I'm going to be doing in 2024. And if you want to follow along, especially watching me do the yes day, be sure to hit that subscribe and turn notifications on and give a thumbs up for this type of video, because I will be posting it here on YouTube and also TikTok. And if you want to go follow my TikTok, it is linked down below. And with that being said, I'll see you guys in my next video.